Is this the best camera bag you can buy? In this video, I'll be putting this camera bag from F Stop Gear to the ultimate test, seeing if it can handle everything a photographer can throw at it, all that coming up. So I've been using this Tilopa from F Stop Gear for the past 2+ years for my outdoor photography. Now it is a 50-liter bag, so it's one of the larger bags from F Stop, but I do believe that it's the best bag that money can buy right now, even though it's a little expensive, coming in at about $400, but let's see why. The outside of the bag is wildly durable and it keeps out tons of moisture, rain, and debris. I'm gonna test that to the max later on in this video, but it's also lightweight and wildly comfortable. One of my favorite things about this camera bag is it actually has pockets on pockets. Like, you open a pocket and there's more pockets in there. Anything you want to carry for your outdoor photography is going to fit in this bag. No need to worry about room for your memory cards, no need to worry about room for your batteries, cameras, lenses. This bag can handle everything in its compartments. When I started testing this bag, I didn't think it was going to be comfortable at all, and that's probably due to the metal framing that runs through the part of the pack that goes along your back. Now, I thought that was going to be really uncomfortable just because it sits on your back, but it actually reinforces the bag and it sits off of your back so you don't even feel it, making it even more comfortable and more durable because the bag doesn't sag on your back as you're hiking while you have it packed full of heavy camera equipment. Now, since I mentioned hiking, let's talk straps here for a second. There's so many camera bags with chest straps, but they aren't adjustable at all. What I love about these is they have a durable lining that runs up and down the strap so that you can adjust where this chest strap fits. I usually fit it just in the middle of my chest, and then it also has a really nice hip waist that adjusts really well too, with perfect hip pads. That's one of the things that a lot of camera bags forget about, is the actual padding on the hips, but this sits right at the top of the hips, making it much like a backpacking backpack and the comfort level of that, because this holds the weight on your hips, not on your back or your shoulders, thus making it much more comfortable as you're hiking long distances with all of your camera equipment stuffed into your camera bag. Now, there are two things on this camera bag that would make it that much better, and that would be an actual pocket on the waist strap. Now, it does have this tiny little elastic spot on the waist strap where you could maybe pack in like half a granola bar or a slice of orange, something just ridiculously minuscule. And other camera bags in the F Stop lineup that are smaller and less expensive have big pockets on the waist strap. So it's a little bit perplexing why they didn't add that one into this camera bag, but that would make this one so much better. Another thing is if they included the rain fly. This is one of my biggest things with camera bags, and that's not including a rain fly. Now, they do sell a rain fly that covers this bag, but it's sold separately for about $50, which just seems a little bit greedy to me. When you're spending $400 on a camera bag, why not throw in a small little rain fly like this? Let's talk about the weight of this camera bag. This camera bag is only 4.2 pounds, which is really surprising because when I picked it up, I thought it was gonna be a lot heavier, but it feels much lighter than 4.2 pounds. And I think it's due to the metal reinforcement system that is on the back that makes it feel lighter because of that anti-sagging that I mentioned a little bit earlier. When your camera bag is packed full of weight, this doesn't sag and keeps it very rigid, thus making it feel much, much lighter than 4.2 pounds. Now, size is a huge factor to me, but I do want to mention that this camera bag, while being 50 liters, it does still fit in most airline overhead compartment bins, which is a huge thing for me because I don't want to check my camera gear. I want to take it with me on the plane to make sure it's safe. I've taken this bag on countless flights, putting it in the overhead bin, and international flights as well. Going through all of that security through international flights can be hectic, but this bag did a great job on the way, allowing me to take all of my gear with me the entire time and never having to worry about, is my camera gear going to get lost for decades overseas? If you're liking what you're seeing about the F Stop Gear Tilopa 50-liter camera bag and you want to check it out a little bit more, I do have a link in the video description and in the pinned comment. I'm not sponsored by F Stop Gear, but that link is an affiliate link and it gives the channel a little bit of a kickback if you decide to purchase this camera bag through that link, helping us to make more videos like this. So what can you actually pack into this bag? First of all, I'm in love with the fact that you can pack a tripod anywhere you want on this bag. There are straps on the side, on the left and right on the other side, on the front, to where you can put the tripod on the front if you want to. I've talked with so many photographers saying that they like the tripod on the right, the left, the back. This allows you to put it wherever you want and find that comfort level for you. I like mine on the side because I don't like to feel like I'm falling backwards as I'm hiking uphill. Let's start packing this bag up. I do want to show you inside. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is that none of these F Stop bags come with the ICUs or internal compartment units. That's a big shame because again, they're really expensive. But the good part about this is that even though they're sold separately, you can buy these in bundles and they fit all of the F Stop bags. So you can switch them around between your bags if you have more than one. So you can fit multiple things in these, and you can also adjust these compartments with the elastic, with the Velcro to change them around to your needs. So you can pack tons of stuff in here. Let's just work on fitting as much camera gear as possible in here. Now, as I'm packing all this stuff in, I do want to mention that this metal framing runs along the back of the bag right here, and that's how it reinforces that. I mentioned that several times in this video, but I just wanted to show you that right here is where that strap is that keeps the metal framing in, that keeps it tight against your back. Okay, I have everything in here. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lenses and 3 camera bodies. And as you can tell, I do still have a little bit of room to spare as I'm packing this up in the internal compartment unit. And you also still have space up top for something like a jacket or some nice snacks for the trail. Now, I'm not into making reviews that just show all the specs and the outside of the bag. I think those are really phony. I want to show you how this actually performs. Can it actually keep out all of the elements? So what I'm going to do here is start blowing out my garage. I have tons of dust and debris in this, and I want to see if all of the dust can stay out of the bag. I also want to note that I'm doing this with all of the camera gear that I just packed into it inside of the bag to really test if it gets wet or dirty at all. What I discovered through this test was actually a couple things that I had never noticed while using this bag, but it does have some really good flaps that fold down to keep any debris out of the zippers. And also a lot of the zippers have lining that folds over them, and even this plasticky, rubbery, very tight zipper that comes over the top of it to, again, keep a lot of that dust out. Now, dust is one thing, but I want to test this with water too. So I kept it in the garage, and I actually pressure washed my garage with this bag in the entrance of the garage to see if it could withstand the pressure washing and all of the mud and wetness that was getting onto it. Now, I've never been in a hurricane myself, but I want to see if this bag can stand up to the extreme wind and water and pressure that the pressure washer had. Here's the moment of truth. So one thing is for sure, my bag is a lot cleaner now than it was. So let's do the test, see if it actually is wet inside. Definitely wet outside. No one can ever accuse me of not testing my gear. So on the inside, all of my camera gear is completely dry. All lenses, all cameras. There is a slight bit of moisture right on the inside of the internal compartment unit, right here, but it's right inside the zipper, and the internal compartment unit itself is another protection layer against any moisture getting inside of the camera bag. Let's check the front pockets too. That's usually where I would store anything from jackets to other accessories. No camera gear in that. I keep my camera gear all the way on the inside. So if I look in the front pockets where all that hurricane force water was hitting it, the inside of this zipper is actually pretty dry. You can see there are a couple little raindrops on here, but again, a gentle rain shower going out in the rain, you're not gonna have any trouble with this bag. Through my experience for using this bag for over about 4 years now, I've found that this is the best camera bag that you can buy, and it can handle any extreme weather or any conditions that you can throw at it, and it'll keep all of your gear safe. It can go anywhere, it can handle anything. Thanks so much for watching. If you want more gear reviews, click or tap on the card showing up right here.